First, to the latest on the Venezuelan crisis. President Nicolas Maduro has backtracked on an order that gave U.S. embassy personnel 72 hours deadline to leave the country. Maduro in the latest said that the government has opened a 30-day window to negotiate with the U.S. the establishment of quote-unquote U.S. interest office in Venezuela. Take a listen.
Hoy, a la misma hora que estaba hablando en el Consejo de Seguridad de la ONU, nuestro canciller defendiendo a Venezuela, quiero que le demos un aplauso al canciller Jorge Arreaza y a todo el equipo de Samuel Moncada en la ONU. Hemos tenido una gran victoria en la ONU hoy, victoria de Venezuela, victoria de la verdad, gran victoria en la Organización de Naciones Unidas, con el apoyo mayoritario de los países en el Consejo de Seguridad de la ONU. Tremenda victoria. Mike Pompeo se fue de la reunión. Se fue, como dicen por ahí. Pide rumba. ¿Qué más pide?
The country's opposition leader and self-proclaimed president Juan Guaido, on the other hand, extended his gratitude to the European nations for their support. This comes after EU member states said that they would follow the United States in recognizing Guaido as Venezuela's rightful leader.
Así que lo primero que quiero hacer el día de hoy es reconocer a esa Unión Europea, a esa comunidad europea que da pasos firmes en respaldo a Venezuela, que da pasos firmes en respaldo y reconocimiento a la lucha democrática que llevamos en nuestro país. Nuestro reconocimiento, nuestro agradecimiento.
Britain, Germany, France and Spain say that they would recognize Guaido if Maduro failed to call for fresh elections in 8 days. Speaking at a United Nations Security Council meeting, Venezuelan Foreign Minister said that European nations had no authority to impose deadlines on Caracas.
Ven cerca del Eliseo a un trabajador con un chaleco amarillo que está trabajando y salen los guardias prácticamente asustados porque le tienen miedo a su pueblo. Dedíquense a sus asuntos. Apoyamos que México, Uruguay, el CARICOM hayan expresado su voluntad para que los venezolanos nos sentemos con su facilitación y logremos nuestras propias salidas, sin imposiciones. Aquí nadie nos va a dar nosotros plazo, ni nos van a decir si se hacen elecciones o no. Las decisiones que se tomen las tomarán los venezolanos, sentados, los de la oposición, los del gobierno.
Russia said that the ultimatum issued by the EU states was childlike. Russia, which has invested heavily in Venezuela's oil industry, in fact, accused Washington of attempting a coup. Venezuela said that US is not just dictating the affairs in Caracas, but also in other countries around the world. Meanwhile, US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo urged international community to financially disconnect from Nicolas Maduro's regime.
We hope that every nation will join us in recognizing interim President Juan Guaido. We hope, too, that each of those nations will ensure that they disconnect their financial systems from the Maduro regime and allow the assets that belong to the Venezuelan people to go to the rightful governors of that state.
Venezuela's foreign minister, Jorge Arreaza, has accused the United States of leading a coup in Venezuela. He rejected an 8-day ultimatum by the EU for the Maduro government to hold elections or step aside. Mr. Arreaza also insisted the Venezuelan military will defend the country's constitution with their lives, saying they would reject any appeal to change sides by the United States. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo called on the UN Security Council to support Venezuelan people trying to free themselves from President Maduro's regime. Mr. Pompeo asked world leaders to support opposition leader Juan Guaido as interim president of Venezuela. The U.S. also says it will use diplomatic and economic means to ensure that Juan Guaido is supported as president. Guaido promised his supporters a transitional government and free elections, which would lead to a new government that could end Venezuela's economic, social, and political crisis. He has also called on his supporters to hold another massive protest next week. While President Maduro insists on holding talks with the opposition, Guaido said he will not hold any false dialogue.